keep it going. We're going to bring another act on. It's her first time at Funny Feckers. Please welcome Chelsea Birkby, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, I'm Chelsea, not to be confused with the football team. Back of the goal. Kick it with your head. I'm going to talk about sexual shame. And the club. I love the club because they play the best music in the club. You know the type? You know the type? It's like definitely offensive, like at women, but also so catchy. I used to like folk, but that was like before I got into sex. Nobody likes Mumford & Sons if they have an active sex life. No, I'm talking about like music in the club, like any Pitbull song. Okay, fine. For some of you that don't know Pitbull, well, lucky you. All you need to do is just imagine a rapper. That would do. When Pitbull's on in the club, because I've requested him, he says stuff like, she like that freaky stuff, that nasty stuff, that 2 in the O, and 1 in the I. 1 in the I? I don't think she does like that, Pitbull. And I've Googled him, and I don't think he's a particularly nice man. Loads of troubling articles come up, stuff like, Pitbull attacks toddler. Pitbull mauls man's face off. Pitbull banned from breeding in the UK. Keep him away from those bitches. I love women in rap, but they can be just as bad. I find if there's any competition between them, it's always made like sexual or about looks, and I just don't think that's the best way to settle workplace disputes. Like, I don't know why that's so fine in the club when it's clearly not in the office. Like, if I was like, oh, Carol, you booked the study room, not the meeting room, and she was like, I fucked your man, you ugly slut. That seems like an overreaction, and I didn't know you knew him. But I love women in rap because they're so empowered. They're like, girl, you do you, and him and her. Have fun. And I think that's so great because we have so much sexual shame in the UK. We think sex is a bad thing, and I think it's like a hangover from like Victorian times with myths like masturbating will make you go blind, like you're doing it wrong. Like, what was Pitbull involved? But other places are so much more comfortable with sex, and I know this because last year when I was on holiday in France, in their airports, their departures lounge is called Kiss and Fly, which is so lovely. They're like, au revoir, mon sexy petit flou. Whereas ours, express drop off. Get the fuck out of the car quick! I think we need to get rid of the sexual shame. I think you need to do it by, like, you know, finding out, like, what you like and what you dislike. Like, I know, for example, I don't like Tingle condoms. Okay, so Tingle condoms, if you don't know, are cold feeling for her pleasure on opposite day. Because I don't think anyone ever has been having sex and thought, oh, I wish it was colder. The one time I had sex with a Tingle condom and a person, I had to stop, which actually made it the most effective form of contraception. So I think you've got to listen to yourself, listen to your friends, listen to Nicki Minaj. Now when I'm getting ready and I'm like, boobs or legs, I'm like, yes. And people say a hoe don't get cold, but we do, you know. Just like anyone else. So my parents are worried about me. Actually, they're worried about me doing stand-up because they think I don't have a sense of humour, but I just think it's that I'm not racist. They're also worried because a few years ago I had an acute mental crisis, which I personally didn't think was very cute at all. Stop fetishizing mental illness, guys. No, I have bipolar affective disorder, which isn't effective very much, let me tell you that. And like what it is if you don't know, is you have periods of depression, but you also have periods of mania or hypermania where you think, I am the life and soul of this party, but everyone else thinks, did she just karate chop my light stand? And this is why it's so underdiagnosed, because like obviously if you're depressed, you like go to see your doctor, it's horrible. Whereas with mania, you can't be like, doctor, I've got something to tell you. I am an absolute legend. Thank you.
She is an absolute legend, ladies and gentlemen.